talking about all the images. Now at the bottom of my screen, instead of clicking on the icon with the X and the Y in it, I'm going to go for the icon right next to it. If I click on that one, now we get into a mode where it shows me all the pictures that I currently have selected. And with all the pictures, I just look through them and decide if there's anything I don't think is really fitting in. I think all these have a certain stylistic feel with the exception of this one, which feels more like a plain photo. I'm going to click on the little X in the lower right corner. When I do, it will make room for the other images, moving them over. And once we get rid of enough images, this one looks a little less refined than the others. Click on the X. It will continuously make them larger to make them fill the screen. And let's see if there's any others I want to get rid of. Get rid of that one. This one doesn't feel as stylistically done as the others, so I'll get rid of it. And just each time I'm going to get it so the images become larger and larger until I get it down to exactly the number I think I need. I'm going to say that's about the number I needed for a particular project. When I'm done, I go out of survey mode and just go back to grid mode, and now the images that were left over that I still had remaining on the screen will be the only ones selected. So I could copy them somewhere else, I could flag them as a pick, or increase their rating settings, or whatever I'd like to do. And so sometimes that's useful for trying to narrow down the number of photos you have. And sometimes I end up doing that, either that feature or the feature I talked about previously, when I ended up shooting more than one shot of the same subject, and I'm just trying to get it down to the single best image for it. So I'm glad those features are found there. Okay, then let's look at how you can use ratings to narrow down your images and what we can do with it. Here I've gone to another set of images, and I just want to pick out the best of these to possibly use for a project. There are many different ways I can rate my images, but one of the things that I like to do is just view them full screen by hitting the space bar. And then, in order to rate them, I have many different ways I can do it. One method is to go to the photo menu and to come down here to set rating. And here I can do between 1 and 5 stars. To be honest, I never go to this menu because it's so much easier to use my keyboard. Look at how simple the keyboard shortcuts are. They're listed on the right. If you type 0, you'll remove any rating that's already there. If you do 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5, that just tells it how many stars to put on. And so all I'm going to be doing is having my fingers on top of the number keys, and I'll be doing 1 through 5 to rate these. So this image I quite like. I'm going to rate it up at about a 4. I just use the right arrow key to go to the next image. And this image I like as well. I'll rate a 4. Keep going. This one I'm not liking as much because it's a bit dark. I can rate it something like a 2. And I believe I should be able to use a feature I talked about the other day. I don't know if you remember or not, but if you press the caps lock key, which I hope I just pressed, I should be able to hit a number to rate it, and it'll automatically advance. Caps lock turns on a feature called auto advance. If you don't remember that, because it's just, if you're not good at remembering keyboard shortcuts, I believe it is under the photo menu as well, right here, auto advance. So now I can come in here. This one looks pretty good. I'm going to rate it a 3. This one I think needs a little more work. That tree that's in there is too similar in color to the rocks, so I'd probably want to adjust it to get it to separate better. Maybe I'll rate it only a 2. This needs refinement as well. This is Antelope Canyon near Page, Arizona. If you're ever near there, this is a great place to shoot. It's really difficult, though, to get the blue sky at the same time as getting this area because there's not much light down there. So this is an HDR image where I took multiple exposures that vary in brightness and I merged them together. We'll talk about that tomorrow, how to do that. But this image, we need a little bit of refinement before I'm happy with it. It looks a little too blackish up here, not pure blue, that kind of thing. So I'm going to rate it a 2 because it needs more work. That one's not quite as exciting because it doesn't have the color variation, so I'll also rate it a 2. This one I'm liking a little better. That one looks like it doesn't need any refinement. It's got nice color throughout it. I'm liking it, so I'll rate it a 4. And that one needs more refinement. This is a panorama. When we're in this, remember at any time you can hit the spacebar a second time and zoom up. This is a high-res image, though, so it would take a while for this to load because this is a massively huge